I remember a lot of these people.
Yeah. Pretty neat stuff there, huh? So
Yeah. Tell me you want to.
we can start anytime, whatever. What why don't you just say your name so we can get it on the tape?
Huh?
Just tell me your name so we can get it on the tape.
Oh, my name?
Yeah.
My name is Richard Vedder.
And
Um,
what you've been in the club about the longest of anybody. That
yeah, oh, I guess so.
yeah.
It's still active anyway.
Yeah.
So,
How'd you hear about it?
there's a couple couple old members still around. Well, I think Sherman Haven is probably the only other one.
Yeah.
Of course, he's not an active AMEC member anymore, but
Yeah.
he has been up a couple times to. I know he was up to our anniversary,
Yep.
and I guess I'm the only one that is active.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Oh.
How did you hear about AMEC? Do you remember?
I think it's great. It's always had an assortment of people, which I think makes it interesting.
Yeah.
We've had, of course, when it started out, it was mostly General Electric engineers, but even some of those were, both kinds, might you say, and so like I say, even today with our ice races, we get guys that own car dealerships, and we get guys that hardly can scrape enough money to go racing.
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
I think that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we've never had any really, might say, bad people that I can recall.
Mhm. Yeah. Mostly all good people.
There
Yeah.
have been some times where there was policy conflicts and people got upset.
Yeah.
But other than that, why,
Yeah.
it's been good.
So how did you hear about AMEC at first?
Well, there was a couple friends of mine who were they were firemen here in town, and I was working at my father's garage down there, and they used to come down there a lot, and they knew somebody in Gloversville, I don't remember the name, and they knew about it, and so then they told me about it, and so that's how I got
And,
involved. So
and that was in the first year of the club, right? Yep.
yeah,
What was it like in
there
those?
was I can say I remember the name in here. I think it was name was Dick Shire. I think was his name, the one in Gloversville.
Yeah.
And I think he was a General Electric engineer also. That's how he got
Yeah.
involved. And then somehow Bill DuBois and Dick Cobb
Yep.
were the two that told me about it. And then they became members, and then they took me in, and so.
It was it was quite an ordeal to become a member, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Yeah. to become a member in the club, you had to
You had to remember. See, I think you had to attend. I think you had to attend 2 meetings. I kind of forget. And I don't know if you had to attend 2 meetings and run 1 event or.
Yep.
But I remember the 2 meeting thing. I remember that. But.
Yeah, we've gotten away from that now.
And then you had to be voted in.
Yeah.
And unlike them today, all you do is
Pay
sign your
money.
name.
Yep.
But you had to be voted in. But I don't know if anybody ever got voted out.
Yep. Yep.
I never heard of it anyway. So.
Yeah. What kind of events did you do you remember in those early
Well,
days?
when we started out, there was rallies, road rallies, and then they ran gymkhanas up at on the Edinburgh Airport.
Yeah.
Those were the 2 initial things that ran things like that. And then a couple of years later, then they had some at the Latham Circle Mall, which of course is a lot different than it was
Yeah.
than it is today.
Yeah.
But this was similar to what an autocross is today, but it was not primarily on a speed thing. It was more of a low speed type event, and sometimes they would have gimmicks in them that you had to park in a garage or
Right.
things like that. So,
Yeah.
but it's where autocross kind of started out.
Yep. Yep. Is how many members were in the club in the real early days?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
I really couldn't say. Maybe. Like I said, I really don't know.
Yeah. In the beginning, did you just participate as an just running the events, or did you get involved in running the club at all?
I ran some of the events, and I think the first. Well, I went to some of the deals, some of the ones up at Edinburgh. I never actually drove. A lot of times they had a passenger, and I would ride.
Yep.
And I gradually got involved with that, and then when we had them down at the Latham Mall, I used to run in those events. And then my first ever trophy was, I think it was the fall of 55, I think. I got a trophy. It was a rally, and I won. And I think it was Bill Boy went with me. And
Yeah.
was down around Middleburg somewhere. It was in the fall, and there was snow on the road, and I had the foresight to put my toolbox in the trunk
Yeah.
of the car, and which was good. So there was one hill that was pretty bad. A lot of cars didn't get up the hill. I remember that much of it.
The toolbox just put extra weight in the back.
Huh?
The toolbox was for extra weight.
Right, the extra weight, yeah.
Yep.
But this was back in the days when most people didn't bother with snow tires. Back then, snow tires weren't very popular. I mean, they were something they were for farm vehicles, more
Yeah.
or less. And so you put weight in the trunk. That
Yep.
was what you did. So.
Huh. We're what kind of car did you drive?
That was a Willys Eagle, Americar, or not Americar. It was the car. That was a 54 Willys Eagle. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Was that a big car? I don't know what a Willys Eagle looked like.
Well, Willys made a car from 50. Well, actually, they made cars, but this was after the war. Before the war, they made cars. and then they made Jeep, and then their first car after the war was '52. They came out with a compact car, all 6-cylinder,
Oh yeah.
and then I had well actually I had one of each. Of course, I was like I say I was working with my father in the garage, and he was a Willys dealer,
Okay.
and
How long was he a Willys dealer for?
oh well, we closed the garage in '64.
Okay. And what? Didn't you tell me he was a Stutz dealer before that or something?
You what?
Didn't he sell Stutzes or something?
Yeah. My father, my father went in business in, I'm not sure, 1924, I think
Wow.
it was. And because I know I have a program from a Stutz convention in 1927,
Wow.
and he sold Stutz right up until, I think 32 was the year they went out of business.
Mm-hmm.
And he sold international trucks, white trucks. He sold a whole bunch of different cars over the years. And then in 1937, he took on the Willys
Huh.
line, and then carried it on through. So,
Is that where you got your interest in automobiles, you think?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do at your dad's place?
Well, I did a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I was everything from mechanic to parts man to you name it, salesman, or
Yeah.
it was kind of nothing like dealers are today. It was
Yeah.
an entirely different
Yeah.
type of business back then.
Yeah.
Somebody come in and wanted to buy a car, you didn't mind talking with them with your old dirty clothes on. You know?
Yep.
And they didn't care either, so.
Yep. That's neat. Huh. Well, so what did the club evolve into after the 50s? Did it? I know we did some the stuff in Charlton at the dirt track there in Charlton.
The what now?
What did the club evolve into, or what did we start doing in the 60s there, or late 50s, up in Charlton at the what do you call it? You know that 13 turn course it had in the woods there, or the field?
Oh, the Charlton course, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they built that, I think, in, '56, I believe. On about there. That was in Charlton. It was on the
Maple Ave?
Ed Rhineflesh farm.
Yes.
It was right in Charlton.
Yeah.
Right off of Maple Avenue.
Yep.
And Ed had a farm, and he was not an active farmer. He was more of a gentleman farmer, and so he gave the club the use of a field, and Sherm Haven designed approximately about a half-mile course with 13 turns,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun.
Did you help build that?
I worked at it. I didn't help the initial layout, but I did a lot of work on it afterwards.
Yep.
It seemed to be a constant picking up of stones all the time,
Yep.
and so I did a lot of work on it. I mean, getting, like, preparing it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
There was, how many years did they do that?
I'm not sure. Probably around, It was only about 3 or 4 years, about 1960, I think, maybe. I'm
Mhm.
not actually sure. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah.
Ed sold the farm, and then we tried to make a deal with the new owner, but he was not interested.
Hmm.
So we lost that.
Yeah.
And then from there, the club kind of went into, became stagnant. There wasn't much going on. And in fact, that's when I went into racing go-karts.
Yep.
And I mean, I still kept active with going to the meetings and stuff, but the club kind of went down. I didn't have many members and things like that. And then, but then when they started ice racing, well, then that picked things up again. And,
Yeah. What kind of cars drove at the Charlton track?
Well, I had a Goliath that I ran mostly, and that was my all-around car for quite a while. It was a '57 Goliath. That was another car that my father sold.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
I was the instigator of getting that in dealer, and
Did you?
now that